This morning I want to talk to you, every one of you, about something that we probably never think about or consider about ourselves. And that is that in a lot of ways, we ourselves are like a bank. We ourselves are like a bank. And what I mean by that is, when you look back on your life, the people that you've known, whether it be family or friends, and you think about the times that they came to you for money, they needed a place to stay, they needed a ride to work or school or wherever it may have been, and every time you look around, they depended on you. They called you. And you didn't give it a second thought. There were just certain people that you just went. Every time they called, you were there. Every time they needed money, you gave it. Anything they needed, you had those people where you just never, ever, and would never, ever say no to. And then you came to the point where you sat down and maybe an incident happened or something happened where it all boiled up at one time, and it finally dawned on you that they never did anything for me. They never put a deposit in my bank. They never put a deposit in my bank. Then you had the people that disrespected you time after time after time after time, year after year. You may do something for them if emergency situation came up, but eventually, and deep down in your heart, most times you'll say no. Why? Because they don't have anything in your bank. As a matter of fact, they're actually overdrawn. So they're using borrowed money out of your bank. Borrowed money out of your bank. So you get to the point where you do things for people, no matter what it is, you get it. When it's needed, they call you. Get to the point where you just get tired. You no longer feel like saying yes anymore. It begins to be a strain. It don't feel as easy to say yes to them as it used to. Why? Because they never put nothing in the bank. They never put nothing in the bank. When they call, it's always an angle. They want you or need you to do something. When they come by, it's something to it. They're eventually going to want you to do something. When you, as an older man or an older woman, get to a point, I'll use an example. There's a white chemist guy I know that made spray. Bugs, when bed bugs were running rampant, stuff like that. And you could use this spray for anything. My cousin Cupcake told me about this guy, and I met him. I got some of this spray from this guy and accumulated. The guy had cancer. The guy was in his 90s when I met him. The guy's name is Phil. Say a prayer for Phil. But anyway, the other day, I thought about Phil. Thought a couple of things. One, the guy had cancer and I hadn't talked to him for a while. Another thing is, you never know. The guy could have made some stock of spray, or family member may say, well, hey, I'll do it now for him. You never know. But anyway, he came to mind and I called him. And I said, hey, Phil, how you doing? He said, hey, hello. Who was this? I said, this is Ray. Guy used to come by and get the spray from you. I said, well, I don't have any spray. I said, well, that's not really what I called for. I said, I just called to see how you doing. He said, well, they had to take I don't know if I'm saying it right, 80 pounds of water from me. And this and that, I'm not doing too good. And I said, well, I'll pray for you. And you pray for me. He said, yeah, well, you do that because I'm going to need a lot of prayer. I said, well, good talking to you. Hope everything. He said, well, you feel like it, come by. I want you to come by one day, have a cup of coffee with me. I said, hey, I might just take you up on that offer. The thing is, I put something in his bank. I put something in his bank. The invitation to the coffee, if you get the point, from him was because I not only called about just the spray, but I asked him how he himself, besides the spray, as an individual who is sick, is feeling. Putting something in the bank. This guy is someone I don't know, and he has kids from what he told me, sons and stuff like that. Sometimes you got to put something in the bank. A stranger sometimes can put something in the bank more than your own. And it's little things. I spoke a little bit about it in a post the other day. Like sending my wife and I to a game, sporting events that I love, a play I love, musicals and plays, that they have at the music hall. There's a restaurant called Sinbad's down on Jefferson, and I think it's Harding. Used to be one of my favorite restaurants back in the day. I talked about that restaurant to my kids a lot. Taking me and my wife there as a family. Putting something in the bank. I'll say this. God blesses me and things come through with what I'm waiting on now. And it works out in my favor. What do you suppose I do as far as those that never put anything in my bank? Should I call them and say, hey, come on, let me throw a party, give you a night on the town, buy you something, help you get a car, help you do this or help you do that? When right now, you never put anything in my bank? Is that fair? Is that fair? Is that life? Is that life? There are loved ones and people that I know that I don't even see, rarely see or hear from. And when they do, normally something happened or they need something. You don't happen to have this, do you? You don't happen to have that, do you? You don't suppose you can do this, do you? Never, I'll do this so you can do that. Putting something in the bank. renewing my spirit. Rosa, my daughter Rosa B. Martin, said on a post the other day, please do her a favor and don't call her with your problems or anything like that, because right now I'll be in my spirituality, her fasting, cleaning her house, getting her life in order. Unless you need prayer, don't even bother her. And I commented on her post saying that I agreed with her, was agreeing with her, and I'm sending that same message out as well. I'm a retiree, a veteran of Vietnam. I get up when I feel like it, unless there's something, doctor's appointments for me and my wife. Other than that, 8:30, 9:30 is the time I like to get up. So I shouldn't be bothered before that time if we ain't got a doctor's appointment. I did my time. People need to start taking care of their own responsibilities and realize that my time, my wife's time is just as valuable as anybody else's. And if you ain't put nothing in the bank, hey, you shouldn't get anything back in return anyway. And I say this in all honesty, sincerity, and not to be mean or to be cruel, but to be honest and to be truthful and to be right and to be just and to be fair. Peace.